Hi, you're listening to the Coffee O'Clock podcast, the show that brings you joy and inspiration, with special guests from all around the world who have an amazing story and expertise to evolve your personal and professional life. I am your host, Burcu ONARANEL, the founder of Joy Marketing and Coaching. Make sure you grab your coffee and get ready to explore new ideas. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. Guess what? Another amazing episode, and I am here with a coach, Coach Dave Friedman, who is a rock star, dad, high-tech, MLM partner, the window guy, Coach Dave. We can call him Coach Dave. Welcome, Coach Dave. How are you?
I'm doing well this morning. Bonjour. There you go.
Cheers. Yes.
Cheers to your coffee.
Yes, I can't have coffee at this time because it's almost like 6 p.m. here, but have your coffee. I'm just cheering.
Two of them.
Thank you so much for coming today. I am excited what we're going to talk about, two coaches, and we are going to talk more about how you work and how you got into coaching business. I'm going to have so many questions around it, but before, even though I introduced you a little bit, I want you to introduce yourself to our audience a little bit. Like, who are you? What do you do?
I'm Dave, born in Cincinnati, Ohio, spent 25 years in Boston, Massachusetts. Yes, I did do pretty well playing music. You know, you've heard that musicians want to be rich and famous. Well, I got the famous part pretty close. Didn't quite make it to the rich. And as you can imagine, a whole bunch of 20-year-olds just going after it. It took a toll. We took a break, married, had a couple of kids, spent some time in high tech, an old defunct software, Lotus 123. Some of you may remember that one. Did that. When Lotus got bought out with IBM, it was no longer fun. So I did join my wife in her network marketing company. Moved to the West Coast in 2003. Crashed and burned in a fairly spectacular way. Consider myself the poster child for the crash of 2008. Lost everything there. Had to completely and totally reconfigure myself, find out who I am, what I'm all about. And somehow the universe just wiped the slate clean for me and said, here you go, Dave, have fun with this. Knocked on a couple of doors, cleaned some windows, opened up a cleaning company called The Window Guy. Don't be shy, call The Window Guy. And started my spiritual journey. And the two of them coincided. I started putting my life back together, built a nice business, ate regularly, slept inside. You know, life was good. But something was tugging at me after a while. I call it a niggling disquiet. That inner voice is starting to say, hey, Dave, you listening? There might be something else out there. I had no clue what it was. I had started to do some speaking. And through speaking, networking, I ran into a coach. The universe, step by step, drove me to her. We had a conversation. And after just a couple of sessions, doing what coaches do, she helped me realize that what I really want to do is coach people. I really want to help people at a very deep level. Again, I didn't even know coaching was a thing to do. And made that decision. Heavens opened up. The angels sang. Ah! Everything just fell into place, and here I am, and it's just a great place to be. I love it.
Wow. Thank you. You spent few seconds telling your hard times. We're going to get into that. But I want to ask, when was the coaching journey started? Like which year?
As I was starting in my spiritual journey, I was actually a little bit of a spiritual counselor starting about 10, 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. This version of coaching, if you will, I've been full-time for about 3 years. Okay. I've been doing the work for 5. I sold my company and I've been full-time for 3.
Okay. So you said in 2003, you had a big event happened. You told the story with ease and nothing was happened. But I want to ask you, like, how did you overcome not just that, And then you said another thing happened as well. I want to ask you, how did you overcome those hard times in your life? Because that's the juicy part. People are curious because so many people are going through so many different hard times, and some of them are not able to get over it. They are addicted to some stuff and they just find themselves in a very desperate part of their life. So tell us more about how was it? How did you deal with it?
Life happens.
That's
And what I find is a lot of people take it personally. So when something like that happens, yeah, we are the ones that need to go through it. But it's not, I didn't take it personal. It's just something that happened. It's funny because I look back on this and I really just did what I felt I needed to do to keep going. I wasn't going to get beat down. I got knocked down, sure, but I wasn't going to get beat down. I was just going to find my way back up. There was two paths to take, and I did both of them. One of them was me, the spiritual journey to finding out who I am. Because, and I almost hate to say this, but it is absolutely the truth. I had lost myself in my last lifetime with the family and the network marketing and the whole thing. I found that I really did not know who I was because I was trying to be a good father, a good husband, a good business partner. Everybody else lost myself in the process. This gave me the opportunity to find out who I am. In the meantime, you got to eat. So I'm going to go out and I'm going to find a way to make some money. Not a big fan of working for other people. That just doesn't work. So I was fortunate enough. Keep your eyes open, figure out what's going on, stay awake. And when something lands, go after it, see how it plays out. It seems pretty simple. It's just the way I played it. But you can't take things personally because that will drag you down. It just happens. It just is. I have this thing that I like to share with people. Do you like rain? Let me ask you, do you like rain?
not really. I try to find joy in it.
Like you try, you don't really like it. So you have an opinion. You know what? It's just rain.
Yeah.
It's your opinion that makes it not one of your favorite things to do. Some people love it, some people hate it. It just is. I find that if I look at life as just something that is,
Mm-hmm.
manage my response instead of reacting to something, quite honestly, I can't control. I can control me. That's it.
Yes, it is easier to said than done, of course.
Yes.
Enjoy your coffee. And were you like this like all the time? It just is like, what was your maybe shift the moment when you decide, no, I'm just not gonna be a victim of my life, or I have the control of my life, I can make my own decisions? Like, when was that shift?
It's a combination. I have a feeling that I was kind of like that before, but when life happened to me, I was forced into doing my own thing, my own way. So at that point, I actually had a choice because there was only me. When I
Mm-hmm.
was banned, everything I did had all these other people involved. When I was in business, when I was at the Lotus, I was part of a team there. So everything I had to do was kind of involved with other people's vision of the world. I called it being pulled along by the weight, by the wake of somebody else's boat. Now I've got my own boat. I'm driving my own way. And I'm doing it my way. And that's a good thing.
I like that. And there's a song by Elvis Presley, My Way. The way you said it, it just reminded me.
Yes, Frank Sinatra.
Yes, yes. So our audience, whoever is listening to us, so when those happens, you have to listen to your inner voice. That's one of the words Coach Dave used. And it is very important, but not as simple as it sounds. I've been there. It's not easy, and sometimes it just gets in the way, or the stuff that you don't like sometimes pulls you in a different direction, but you have to be the own driver of your own car or your boat, like Dave said. So I also have another question about your coaching, because you said you started with a spiritual practice, and then you also mentioned in our previous call that you do with energy. So you use energy in your coaching. Can you share more of how you work and who you work with?
I understand that everything in the universe is just energy. It's just a fact. It's physics. It's been, like Albert Einstein said, everything is just energy, and that's just a fact. We are all energy. And if you look into the quantum of everything, the metaphysics of everything, it all comes down to just what this is.
Yes.
Energy is something that can't be created. It can't be destroyed. It can only be modified. We are energy. Everything is energy. When you understand this, then you get an opportunity to modify your personal energy to vibrate along a frequency that you would like to inhabit when living your life. There's an example I like to give. For all you wine drinkers out there, you ever bink your wine glass? And it has a note. And if you can find that note in your head, and you can join the wine glass in a line that you can actually feel the synergy between that note and the note that you are creating. If you get that note and you get off of it just a little bit, you can feel it start to wobble. And if you do that enough, you'll actually break the wine glass. Imagine living your life in a frequency with a resonance with the universe, your choice of it, you're part of it, because we're all different, where your life is just nice and smooth all the time. If you can find that, and or if you can get yourself into a place where you resonate with the life that you'd like to lead, it becomes pretty easy.
And how we do that?
Yesterday, I was given a seminar, and the guy said, how can we get ourselves up to these upper levels? I want to go there. Well, the answer is, you really can't go there. What you need to do is you need to get rid of everything that's keeping you down. There's a certain level that we can overcome our past, our perceptions, our beliefs, all of these coaching concepts that are, by the way, very real. We can overcome them to a certain point, but they will always come back to bite us at the most unopportune moments. So the way to move up is to remove what's holding you back. And that's what coaches do. We are that. We're a guide. We are a way shower. We're a partner in your journey towards seeing you living the life that you only dream about. And because we are what I call that disinterested third party, we get a chance to hear and listen to what it is that you're saying and pick out stuff that has a charge to it. And that's, again, where the energy comes up. I learned to listen intuitively with my ears and hear things and feel things that have a charge with my clients. And when we go into those areas and the client starts to unfold, unpack whatever's down there, the energy dissipates, the charge dissipates, and you can feel the energy in the room just lift when that happens. It's really a cool thing.
By just listening you, I felt calmer, and I just felt the power of coaching you do. And I'm glad you touched a little bit of what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, what is really coaching? And what is the perspective or stereotype that people have about coaching? Like, what is therapist? What is coach? Maybe what is consultant? Like, can you define all those things to sparkle the audience mind?
Sparkle their minds. Yes. I think that the most obvious coach that people who are ever sports coaches, they sit on the sidelines and they tell you what to do. I'm a baseball fan. So a batting coach, keep your bat flat. You can
Mm,
stay in the hitting zone more and you can hit the ball better. So there's a coach telling me how to be better. Business coaching, they look at your processes in your books. You do this, this, and this, you can receive X amount percentage of ROI. Life coaches, my version of it anyway, I say, I don't know what's best for you, but you do.
mhm.
My expertise, my sweet spot is helping you uncover your inner wisdom, helping you find out what is best for you, and then supporting you along the way as opposed to having a path with it and then support with that path. The big difference between therapy and coaching, again, gross generalization, is that
Mm.
therapy takes people from dysfunctional to functional. Coaching takes people from functional to optimal. Make sense?
Yes, totally does. And it is important to understand what coaches do, because I've received this kind of stereotype answers or perspective from people for the past almost 10 years. I've been doing life coaching. So people are like, ah, life coach. So what do you do? You're like, do you give me a pill to make me better? Or do you just give me some advice that you know everything better? Of course, being a young person, young woman, didn't make it easier because people had those perspective of, oh, you haven't lived enough, like what are you going to teach me, like what can I learn from you? So these are the things that I've heard from people, and I think besides all of these, there is still in the market, because of all those corporate jobs or technical jobs, engineering jobs, this doesn't sound as a job, or this doesn't sound as an expertise still, unfortunately, even though there's a federation, International Coaching Federation, as like our university, uh, give those accreditations, credentials, even though there are so many people, it still has this. That's why I wanted to touch it with you, especially because you had this great metaphoric explanation around the coaching perspective in our previous call. That's why I wanted to ask, and thank you so much for answering. I hope people are more clear right now. And don't ever ask those questions, like do your research, and it's not about, it's just about you. And I liked how you defined, Dave, you said we are helping people on their journey and creating, not necessarily creating, but walking in the path so they know only what's best for them. So that is the key. So they already have it in them. It just needs to be uncovered.
Exactly right. We have everything we need right here. There's a whole joke and story about that. But when it's in here, it's really hard for us to find it. Call it a blind spot if you will. Call your coach your rear view mirror. Think of this person who has your ears and your eyes and covers all the spots that you can't hear and that you can't see. And then you work in partnership with your coach to help you see and hear more clearly what it is that is right for you. And you can follow that path together with support.
Yes. Yes. And I believe every person, every coaches need a coach,
Yes,
because
we
we
do.
can't do it by
Yes,
ourselves.
we do.
Yes. And I found it, for me, I found it a little challenging. And from other coaches that I interviewed in the past, I also heard that they had their coaches and they struggled at the beginning. So how did you decide to hire a coach for you as already being a coach? Like, how did you accept that there is the fact that everybody needs a coach?
I really just accepted it. I decided to try it out. I found this woman that I really got along with, and she asked me a question and pointed out something that I said that just came out of the middle of nowhere. And it just went boom.
Mm.
Are you taking any more clients? Well, yes, I am. I've been with her 3 years now, and it's great. And it's a funny thing. I'm a coach. I know how this works. And when I'm as a client, though, I can see how it works, yet it still works. I still let it work. And it's really interesting to be able to watch that from both sides of the fence. I
Yes.
know that most extremely successful people, all I'm talking about Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and there's
Yes.
other people not named Bill that have coaches. Oprah Winfrey has a coach. The band Metallica got a coach. They almost broke up. Hugh Jackman, who was made his movie stardom out of being Wolverine, after he was that successful, got a coach. It helped him get out of his own way. Remember that stuff that's holding you back? And then he did that movie, The Greatest Showman. These people, Andre Agassi, great, big, huge stars, all know to get where you want to go, you got to have some help. If you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, build your team, start with a coach.
Yes, love that. I love that saying. Thank you so much for saying it to our audience once again. So I really enjoyed talking to you, but it's been already over 20 minutes. I can't believe how the time flew. I want to ask you lastly, who do you work with the most? And how do you work with people? If you can share, like if you have any offers or upcoming events, seminars, speeches, share with us.
I work with all kinds of people, primarily successful mid-career people, to help them get clarity on what may or may not be next. And the reason I say that like that is because everybody's always looking for what's next. But when you do your work, you may realize that where you are right now is just fine. So now you're staying where you are, but you're doing it consciously. It's a conscious decision. So you know where you are and you feel better about yourself in the process. I also find, because I get a lot of people asking me for career advice, I let them know I'm not a career coach. That comes into me knowing more than you do. A business coach helps your business get better. A career coach helps you work on your career better. As we said before, a sports coach helps you do your sports better. But a life coach helps you do you better. And then everything you touch elevates. I call it the rising tide raises all boats. So I work with the person and the person's life gets to be better. So I'm focusing on people that really want to make a change, that understand they have to go inside. And it takes them by surprise a little bit because we're not working on their career path. I don't know anything about resumes. But when we go inside and help them find out who they are, where their passion is, and what they really want to do, getting tremendous results with that. Oh, you asked about, tell you what, you can contact me. Can I give my contact information?
Hmm?
We'll post it somewhere, but I am Dave, that's me, at Coach Dave, the number 4u.com, Dave at CoachDaveForYou.com. Let me know that you saw me on this interview, and I would be happy to have a conversation with you and actually show you what my kind of coaching is all about. I'll offer a free session to anybody who wants to take me up on that.
Wow, thank you. That is very generous of you. Can I take that as well? I'm
Absolutely.
watching you.
It'd be an honor.
Perfect, perfect. So how people can also find you? Can you also share your website?
CoachDaveForYou.com.
Okay.
It's a little out of date. It's just a website, no big deal. I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook.
Mhm.
I'm in the local clubs. I go to the store. I'm all over the place. You can find me. Best thing to do is send me an email. You can find me on LinkedIn. I think it's Coach Dave for you, LinkedIn/Coach Dave for you. And say hello. It would be nice to say hi.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dave,
Thank
for
you.
joining us. I hope people make the most out of this show. Please send it to people who you think may find it beneficial and interested in coaching and interested in connecting with Dave. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Dave, once again.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and now you can apply it to your life. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the Coffee O'Clock podcast on Apple and leave us a review. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you feel like someone needs to listen to this episode, share it on your social media or text the link to that person to make an impact in their life. Be sure to tune in every Monday for new episodes. You can also watch the episodes and find more inspiration on my Instagram, which is at JOYYBURCU. Until next time, make sure to spend some time with you and stay with joy.